Hi everybody, today I will share with you how I did my scented gnome. First we cast on the machine starting by the black needle. One in the front, one in the back for the first row. Like I do all the time. There, open the yarn feeder, put the yarn in, put it through the little hole, and then you crank for 12 rows. We're doing the below the bottom of the little gnome. So I reached the 12, remove the yarn, turn, forgot I cut the yarn, turn for 360 without the yarn going through the yarn feeder, so that way it will release the stitches. So I hold on this tail. When it get up, I go and grab the second one on the side. And with my wool needle, I go between the two teeth to pick up all the stitches. Very important. If you miss one, you will end up with the drop stitch. You don't want it. So I keep going like this. There. Oops, sorry, they're not in the, I'm not in the right angle. I will bring it to me. Keep going. There. So this is a Santa gnome, but you could change the color and use it at the Valentine's Day gnome, Leprechaun Day, you could put it green. Valentine's Day, you could put it pink. Easter, name the holiday, it could be adaptable. So I stretch it, put that aside. Now I will do the boots. Same thing, casting, starting by the black needle. And I will need 2 boots, so that's why on the screen you see 2 times 6. So it's 6 row. Put that on the back. Open yarn feeder, put your yarn in, and crank for 6 rows. There. So you will need to do that twice. Open it. Time to do the 360 without the yarn going through the yarn feeder. Pull on the yarn. The needle is up. So you go and bring your wool needle, pick up all the stitches. Be careful, don't pull your wool needle too high to last stitch that is close to it. Like this, and continue. There. Same thing as we just do with the bottom part. And oops, fix the angle of the camera. There. Oops. Be careful. Oops, I missed one. I will pull it. Just bring it in front of the yarn feeder. The needle get up, and it's easier to pull it out. So this is the part. I need 2 like that. So now it's time to prepare for the hat. First I will cast on with waste yarn. one in the front, one in the back, starting by the black needle, put it in the yarn feeder, and doing 5 rows. Why waste yarn? Is to close the tube flat way for the hat. It would help. There. So now it's time to add the red color. So we'll open the yarn feeder, bring the red yarn and crank it for 15 rows. 15 rows. There, the crank. And when I reach to 15, I will add five rows of waste yarn. Cut the yarn and add the waste yarn. Same thing, put the yarn inside like this and bring, oh no, it's not the waste yarn, sorry, it's the border, it's the 5 rows of white. Oops, my mistake. Didn't drink any coffee this morning. So 5 rows of white, and when we fold it, it will become the border of the Santa hat. There, cut the white, and now we will add on 15 rows of white. Bring it here, put it in front of the other needle to be close to the white. There. Now we will attach those two together. There. With a double knot like we did when we add the white. The only time we don't attach those tails together is when it's waste yarn, because we remove it at the end. That's the only time. So I crank for 15 rows. And this time I will add 5 rows of waste yarn. Promise. There, cut the yarn, put it in the middle, bring the waste yarn, put that in front of the black needle to be close to the red. Pull it a little bit, but not attaching it. There. So we go with 5 rows, and when I cut the yarn, the machine will remove the yarn by itself because there's no yarn coming through the yarn feeder anymore. There. Sometimes it could happen to attach. Bring it back in front of the yarn feeder, and it will get up the pin, and you will be able to bring it out. So that's how it's gonna look. So stretch a little bit and put that aside for now. So now I will show you a little trick. During the video I said 15, 5, 15, but for a reason I don't know, my machine did more rows, so I will fix it. So I go count every V like this, find the 15, and I will go and install a lifeline. I just pick half of the stitches like this, half of the stitch, and stay on the same rows like this, and that way I will remove the 2 extra rows that I don't need. There. So if it's happened to you, you could fix it too. That's why I show it. There. half of it. And I use some darker yarn so that way it will be easy to see the stitch when it will be the time to close your tube. Almost finished. Like this, and voila! So I stay on the same column. Now it's time to remove the waste yarn. So I remove the waste yarn, and then I will remove 2 rows of red. So it will stop when I reach to the black live line. So right here. Ta-da! So you could see all your stitches clearly like this. So now I will fold it inside to bring it one extremity to the other one to close the tube. I will use a hook. I think it was a 4.5 millimeter, but you could use 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, whatever you have on your desk. It will work. So I find my starting part, and I will go right here, the next stitch. So I grab one on the side, one on the other side, one stitch here, oops, one stitch here, and one stitch on the black side. So that's why it's always a good idea to take a contrasting yarn when you do this part. It's easier to see the stitches. There. So we will sew it together like this till we reach the starting point again. Hope it's not too fast and easy to follow for your eyes. There. Almost there. As you could see, I cut some part of the video to not making it too long. Bring the stitches and the other side. Look like this, and I will remove the blue waste yarn and the black one after. Don't worry, I will pull this one, it's in my way. So I grab this stitch and continue. That's a good tip to show too. When your stitch is too tight, just take the tip of your wool needle and loosen up a little bit like this. There. Almost done. Don't give up. If you're still here, can you put a smiley face in the comments, please? It helped me to see how long people stay watching my video, to see if it's too long or too short or right in the middle. Loosening up a little bit more. There. And close your rope like this. Now it's time to pull the waste yarn, and this time it was the waste yarn that we installed by hand at the beginning, so it's a cast on and sometimes could get hard like this time. Usually you you remove the first row and everything go well, but for X reason, this time didn't work. I was stuck with it and tried very hard, but not working. So I decided to use my best friend, scissors. The scissors will help me going through that part. Sorry, those are hard to watch when I cut yarn, but I have to. So I keep those little pieces to do some stuffing later for another toy I will make. So I will remove now the black waste yarn. That will be just pulling one side. Very easy, like this. Doo-doo. Pull, pull, pull. Magic. And I will bring my wool needle back and close this stitch. It's open, it's not live, but there's a space between it, so I will fix it, put it in together. There, and double knot. Ta-da! So your hat is done. Time to hide those tail of yarn. Like this. Like this. There. Stretch it. And now for the body, you will need 6 almond, 12 red, 3 white, 10 red, 6 almond. Press pause to take note of the numbers. There. Now it's time to close those tubes, and we'll do a little circular flat part for this. So I pull the yarn, close one side, and pull the other side too, like this, and we'll do a flat circle. After, we'll do double knot on each side, and then I will bring one tail on the other side, going through the middle, so that way it will stay flat. There. Attach those two together and put that aside for now. There. Bring the yarn on the edge, and I will hide those little tail, but I really don't need to, because I will put that on the body of the gnome and you will not see it. So stretch it and attach it. So that is the body that I folded in half and closed the 2 almond side, and now it's time to attach the bottom on the edge of the body, like this. I put the stuffing in, and now it's time to finish attaching it. I like my gnome to be a little bit big, but not too big, so it's up to you. The reason I put the bottom, it will be easier to attach the boots on it following that line. So time to attach it. So I grab one full stitch on the edge of the white, and then one full stitch on my red. There. Push it. Make sure the stuffing doesn't bother you. and I continue. It looks hard to do, but when you give it a go, you will see you learn a lot doing this pattern, but it's not that hard. There. Look funny right now. Doesn't look at a gnome yet, but we will make it look like one soon. Don't worry. So it's almost like a ball. We'll add the tail of yarn, cut the excess, and bring the hat. Give it like a 35 angle, like this, just to keep enough to put 2 eyes and a big nose. So we start in the back, sewing it together. I use some white. There. Grab a full stitch on the hat and a full stitch on the body. There. And if you're more comfortable with some needle to keep the hat fixed on the same place during the sewing, you could use some needle to keep it on the right place. But me, I'm just holding it with my hand because I'm too lazy to check for needle. There, so I keep going. There. Pull a little bit. And time to do the swing on the face part. Very important to keep some room for the nose and both eyes. There. Keep going. Almost there. And I will pull just a little bit on the yarn at the end, but not too tight because you don't want to change the shape of your project. You want it to be perfect, but not too tight. Here, pull a little bit. There, perfect. Stretch it like I want it, and I will continue. Keep going like this. There. There. And voila. I do still, double knot always, and I did between the 2 layers or in the body, but usually I will go white on white so that way you don't see through. There. There. it's time to create the pointy hat. With the help of your finger, you will fold it like this, and with the wool needle we will do like we go on one column on one side, grab a full bar or 2 bar, and you will do the same here. You go on the column, not on the side, because if you go on the side and didn't follow a column, when will be the time to pull on it, it won't work. So very important to go on the column like this. There. Keep going. Continue, and here too, if you got some stitch marker to keep your work together to help you, it's possible too. But me, I just hold it with my hand. But that's me. And now it's time to pull. So this seam look great. I will continue. Keep going with the 2 bar on the column. And then I will close it with the knot. Put it tight with the finger like this, and then I will go on the starting, pull to get the seam look great. And I will fix the little hole here by doing a knot. And when it's done, I will do a knot like this and pull very tight and hide it in the body. So this part is done too. Cut it. And bring the boots and close it. Like we did with the bottom part at the beginning. Just pull one side and pull the other side to close the tube, and it will make like a little circle, and I will attach both tail together, but first I will pull my finger in to give it a half circle shape like this, very tight. And I will attach those 2 tails together. And it looks like a Pac-Man right now, but I will close it. With my wool needle. And I will do the exact same thing with the other boots. So be careful how I did this one. So just bring this part close to the other part. I grab 2 bar and 2 bar on the other side. 2 bar and 2 on the other side. Pull and it will create a little ball like this. Bring the yarn to the other tail in the middle, going through the middle. Attach those two together and you got your first boot done. Ta-da! So you do the same thing with the second one. So I will attach it right on the bottom and white on your little gnome for both boots. And now I will go through, going from the back to the front, and keep 5 columns between it. So it will be the first arm. See, 5. So I go on the same column, going through it, and I don't pull it so that way it's easier for me to see where is the column. There. Like this, and going back to the front. Now it's time to pull on my yarn. You will see it's magic. It will give a arm shape like this. There. Don't pull too much. I don't want to lose my yarn. And going back and forth like this to create the end. There. So this is done, and I will go up now to get to my starting point to close it. And in the same time it will give a arm the better shape. There. Now it's time to do the double knot and attach it. And I will hide it in the red part of the gnome. So the 2 boots are there, the 2 arms there. And now I will do the mitten. I just use some green color, go over the end part, and it will create little mitten. Oops. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. So I bring it back to the starting point, attach it, and hide it. There. We are almost done. Don't give up. Stay with me. There. Time to hide those yarn. Double it. And hide it. Got it, and voila. So nose time. For the nose I use a pencil that I will go around it like this, and I keep myself a tail at the starting, and this tail will help me to close it at the end. So I going around like this, and I pick in the same stitch all the time, going through like this. And when the nose is the size that you want, you stop. When you decide to do a big nose like this, so don't go too tight because you don't want to change the shape of the nose. I have problem with S when I have to pronounce it. It's hard. Sorry. Now it's time to hide it. There. And cut it. It's time for the beard. So I use my phone. I going around with the white yarn, cut it. And I will show you two ways. If you're not comfortable with sewing the beard, maybe for your first gnome you will be more comfortable doing this. You bring one tail of yarn, you bring it to the middle, tie it tight, do a double knot, putting your finger to keep it tight, and then you bring it to your gnome like this and attach it. That's if you're comfortable like this, will do the trick, will be cute. Or if you want to do like I did on the picture, I used a small hook, I think it was a 4 or 3.5 that I have on my desk, and I'll fold my yarn in half and bring it like this. There. Now it's time to continue. So I bring it right here between the change of color, grab one bar and attach my beard like this. So you keep going and you put as much as you want. And if you want a fluffier beard, just take the tip of your wool needle and remove the twist of your yarn going through it. And we'll give something like this. And if you're okay with that, it's time to do the eyes. For the eyes, I just do a very simple technique. I go right on the side like this. And the eye will be very simple but cute. Don't worry, it's a gnome. It's always cute. So bring it there. And bring it to the back. There. Pull it but not too much. You don't want to change the shape of your face. Very gentle, and if it needed, you could use the tip of your needle to fix it. So I bring the starting tail in the back too, like this. There. Pull it a little bit, adjust it, and when it's the way you want it, you keep it that way. And voila, I will attach it. Cut it and hide it in the hat for this time. And we will do the beard. I'm gonna be the barber. Cut, 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 and be careful. It takes a lot of time to install it, so just cut a little bit at a time. Because if you cut too much, you will end up with a mustache. Mustache? Is it mustache? Yes, I think. I'm not sure. If it's not, spell it to me in the comment. So I will cut it right there, a little bit at a time. There. There. So that's it. See you next week for another video, and never give up. Ciao, ciao. And Merry Christmas. I like him. He's cute.